As Pleasant continues to spam away, he's not going to be able to get anything done either. Issa finishes him off with a headshot. 2-0 here for Eternal Fire. We won't see anything more in that one. The odds haven't really shifted at all. In fact, they haven't shifted one bit since we started. 2-0. Probably about to be 3 as Galaxy Racer don't have money to buy into this. Pleasant spams down mid as well. Won't spot anything either. Calix and Emort rocking these Mac 10s. They want to try and farm some frags against the Ecos, and Calix does so quite nicely. Finds 2. Lots of damage on the 3rd, but as he runs out of bullets, you hear that click, click. Starts to worry, and Twist's able to finish him off. Woxic does deal the deadly blow. Can't quite connect the head, though. He takes a hell of a lot of damage. 2 HP. Calls upon Emort to try and support him, and the Mac 10 finds it. Doesn't. Has managed to retrieve Calix all an SMG. Finds another kill onto Ether. Upgrades to the AK. And to be honest, now his plan is to just get the hell out of there. And he somewhat manages to do so, but he's going to have to take a fight. Takes it with Emor. Finds the kill. Another onto Woxic. It's a one-on-one. A round where he was just falling away to save, and he actually had a shot at it there. If he'd have killed Xantares, that would have been unbelievable. But he couldn't. Either way, it's a very, very expensive round for Eternal Fire. They were against a full eco there. They've lost 4 players just because they were trying to hunt to stop that. Initially, Mac 10 being saved. Absolutely bonkers. Oh, Woxic. That is nuts. And you know, with the changes on Dust 2, a nice response from Chauzy there, actually. Brings us into a 4-on-4. But with the changes on Dust 2, it adds this whole new interesting dynamic, because the CTs no longer have to just throw a smoke towards the double doors every round just to get across. But it also means that if they don't throw a smoke there, there's a chance that one of the T players could drop into suicide, take that fight, and then you're left vulnerable. So you now have this question of, like, do you want to throw the smoke every round and potentially just waste $300, because the likelihood of them watching it is a lot lower than it used to be. But then you're also risking losing your life on the cross every so often. Depends who you're up against. The fast AWPer like Woxic will always be able to hit that cross shot if you give him the chance to do so. There's an on the other side of the smoke. Teasing a spam, but doesn't go for it. I want to go for the boost here, but it's messy. They're struggling. These boxes are really uneven. It makes it difficult to jump up. Chauzy with a big shot onto the first. As the CT smoke dissipates, they can no longer hold on to this boost, but they're finding the kills regardless. Man advantage here for Galaxy Racer. Make it 2 as Chauzy finds another. And Woxic with 30 seconds left has to clutch up a 1 versus 3. AWP in hand. A single smoke. That will be deployed. Gives him a little bit of wiggle room. Dezen already swung out wide, though. Knows that there's a man towards short. That's Chauzy. And as he tries to go for the little jump bait to bait out the shot, he gets caught out. Actually dies to it. Maka, top 0.8%. A little bit better than Chauzy's score that we saw at the start of this one. Remember, if you do want to test your skills, see if you can beat those pros, and that link down below. teb.tv/3DGameTrainer, where you can see all the scores. You can download the game for free on Steam. For Xantares, AK-47 in hand. AK on Xantares still. Not a util behind him as well. He's kind of the man that's buffed up here. Wants to try and do some damage. He's got extra money as well. Everybody else fully invested into this. He's still got $1,500 behind him in the bank. Great nade. Does tons onto them, though. It makes those M4s so much more deadly. When you've got 3 players, sort of on anywhere 85 and below, a single one-tap from that M4 will finish him off. Crux can't deliver it though. Xantares, big headshot. Man advantage here for Eternal Fire. And a potential B-bomb side for grabs if Pleasant can't deliver. Misses the shot. In fact, doesn't even pull the trigger. Xantares is just too quick. Twist up, boosted on top of the box. Tries to spot the crossover towards B, but as the smoke goes down, he's run out of options. They're spamming away up from heaven. Emor, it's messy, but he finds the kill. And should be able to press forward and grab that AK too. Big headshot from Xantares. And Shorzy, of course, just on the save, but does manage to catch out Emor. This is an incredible round from Eternal Fire. The fact they've just come into this with Deagles and Xantares' AK and managed to pull it off. I mean, it's absolutely on the shoulders of Xantares. But it's still remarkable. Woxic, of course, hunting. He wanted that AWP. If he could catch out Shorzy, kill him with the Deagle, upgrade to a sniper at no expense, he'd be very, very happy because he hasn't got enough money for one in the next. Xantares could drop an AWP over to him, and I think he might, because Woxic needs a drop regardless. Oh, Calyx has got one. Okay, well, the odds finally shift a little, 1.5 to 2.5, so there you go. They are moving over in Eternal Fire's favour, and I think that's got a lot to do with how this game started. Eternal Fire definitely looking like the stronger team here on Dust 2 especially. I like this from Twist. Go for a bit of mid-aggression. It's far more viable now that that blockade's there. Stop someone from the T-spawn seeing right down. You can justify as a CT just flying up mid, trying to take a more aggressive fight. Shorzy uses his AWP, puts it to good use. It falls instantly. Calyx with the sniper does manage to find Dezen, so evens out these numbers back into a 4-on-4. This shouldn't even really be a close round. This should just be a free round for Eternal Fire. This is basically an eco with just a hero sniper on Shorzy. So all they need to do is work out where Shorzy is and either avoid him or isolate him. Over towards the B site. They're actually about to walk right into him. Shorzy could make a hero play and stop this round in its tracks, but he seemed to just not pull the trigger. I don't know what happened there. Peeked up, Crosshair lined up with the first. He ducked down without shooting, and then peeked up again and got a bullet to the skull before firing off the shot. I think that's a big mistake from him. He's going to be kicking himself that he couldn't deliver that. Emor spams down Pleasant, manages to finish him off. Xantares progressing onto Crux. Crux has got no Kevlar. Surely this should be a free fight, and Xantares takes a lot of damage but does win it. And Twist now left with the AK. Unfortunately, Shorzy's AWP's completely unretrievable. It's towards the back of B site. Will stay alive. Oh no! A huge whiff onto Emor, and as soon as Emor hits one shot onto him, the lack of Kevlar makes that bullet punch impossible to win that fight there for Twist, and he loses the AK. Doesn't matter too much. They've got enough money to buy into this one regardless, but I think that AK would have been a nice one for him to come away with. Would have had a slightly upgraded weapon and an extra $3,000 or $2,900 in the bank that he didn't need to spend on that M4. Woxic, getting to the long corner just a tad late. Could have gone for the ballsy play, stayed in the Molotov for a second there, maybe got the peak, but instead tucks away, taking minimal damage. For Emor, with the Xbox smoke, he can actually push through the mid doors. They're a man down, so they need to be careful here. If they lose another, it could be round over. CT smoke blooms. Actually the one to cut off the boost. Emor can throw one on the flyer to just cut off the man up close. Flashes over the top though. Could initiate a push through this CT smoke. For now, not going to come through. There we go. Twist goes for it and actually finds both. The reaction on Emor there, just a tad too slow. Woxic with the AWP couldn't do much up close. And there you go. It's going to be 5-2. Eternal Fire. Looking like they're going for an early save call here. I mean, they could wrap around to A and try their luck, but Dezen's tucked in the corner here towards the long doors. I don't think they're going to have much success unless they go for like a super pre-fire on it. The issue is Dezen has such an advantage on this angle because of the way the angle of the sun. You can see the shadow. There's a CT in that corner, you can pre-fire it all day long. The only way he used to get away with this is if they actually spam it. I'm not sure how confident they're really going to be that Desmond's there. So there you go. Save is the answer. That's what they'll go for here. Oh my goodness, Desmond, what a read. That's unreal. They don't let him save. For Eternal Fire, it doesn't matter too much. They've got enough money to buy regardless. Emor could drop over to Calyx and everyone else can comfortably invest. You could even see an AWP on Woxic if someone wants to drop it over, and there you go. That's the plan. But either way, I think they're going to be a little bit frustrated they weren't allowed to save those 2 AKs. We saw that Pinnacle banner pop up. Remember, folks, bet €10, get €10. Code 421 is the promotional one for that one. Oh, Woxic. A tad late. Stays on the angle, though. Thought there might be a repeat there. Instead, that's not the case. Pleasant doesn't risk it. Galaxy Racer wielding a double AWP setup for the first time, I think, this half. And it pays off. Pleasant. Big early kill. I'm still not quite used to seeing nades being dropped to each other. As soon as a nade's thrown, I'm thinking, why is he throwing a HE at his teammate? And then I realise he's pressed G on it. He's not pressed mouse 1. I'll get used to it, though, I'm sure. As will we all. Emor. Oh, my goodness. This is so sneaky. This is so sneaky. The trigger discipline as well. Oh, it's just perfect. Emor. That's so good. That's so good. Creeping all the way up catwalk like that, not being seen, and then not firing off the shot on the first man straight away either. Making sure he gets 2 in that scenario instead of 1. Instead of bringing it into a 4-on-4. Gives them the man advantage in the 4-on-3 and almost just, basically just secures the round for them because Galaxy Racer aren't even going for the retake in this scenario. They've got 2 kits. And they've got a little bit of util, but it's not really the right util. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. The issue is they're a man down. They're massively out of position. Pleasant's got an AWP. They have money, but not a huge amount of it. And Desmond's going to drop as well. The man in long that wanted to catch out some exits isn't successful. Pleasant and Grux will save these 2 weapons. They will have money going into the next. With that loss bonus that they've accumulated as well. 2,400, 2,900 now going into the next round if they lose it. That open AK save will mean that those rifles will come out on the rest of them. Pleasant's actually going to drop so that they can have that secondary sniper again. This better work out for them. This is like a massive commitment, a massive investment. Once again, here's Emor's play though. We don't get to see the sneakiness of him creeping all the way up, but there's the 2 executions. Absolutely beautiful. Woxic. Ooh. The fire providing Grux all the cover he needed there. And I'm not sure he even realised that Woxic was on the other side with his crosshair lined up to him. Messy engagement towards mid. Chauzy wasn't able to get away with the first shot. Grux right through that smoke though. Takes out Easter. I think he saw a foot or a barrel there just before that smoke bloomed. Either way, Xantares hungry for something. Desmond and Pleasant. Up close to short. One playing anti. Pleasant can't connect the shot, but as the reswing comes in, that's Desmond's cue to spin around. That's such a good configuration. Works so much of the time. Chauzy on the angle. It seemed like a crazy pixel tight angle, but as soon as you see someone cross into it, he just pulls the trigger, and luckily for him, it feels like she just stood and waited for him. Flawless round for Galaxy Racer. 3rd on the board. Really solid stuff from them. And a nice little turnaround, to be honest. Chauzy sitting on 10 kills right now, the only man on the server to breach into double digits. And there's his 3D aim trainer score again. Top 0.7%. That's decent. You take a room of like 130 people that play Counter-Strike, that play 3D aim trainer. The likelihood is Chauzy will be the best man in the room. I think that sounds about right. Ooh. His flicking was one of the best scores on the aim trainer, but couldn't quite hit that flick there. It was incredibly close though. No real surprise that his flicking was the best as well, actually. Being the AWPer. Makes a lot of sense. Just over a minute left on this clock, and Eternal Fire not made any major risks just yet. They've gone mid control, they're up short. Still Chawsey on the angle though. Last time round he couldn't connect when that jump came in. This time, similar affair. Run boost baits out the shot. They know he likes to play that corner, so they're not going to peek into him. The issue is this timer's really running down. 40 seconds left. Chawsey's managed to get himself a new position onto the site. Had they have flooded onto A site after he missed that shot, little do they know it, but they would have actually probably had the round. They would have been able to catch him out as he was wrapping round towards the ramp. No one else was there to support him. But yeah, now he's got a good angle on site. He can work with this. 20 seconds left. The execution's going to come through for Eternal Fire, but there's no margin for error. There's no time to make mistakes, otherwise it's round over. Chawsey wins the duel onto Xantares, spots him first on the angle with the AWP. Twist catches out the flanker from long, and Issa and Woxic surely just have to fall away and save here. Look at that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No time for them whatsoever. Certainly not enough time to go and grab that bomb and get it planted. That's without any angry CTs on the site. (6-4) going into round number 11. Very important round for Galaxy Racer to secure, bearing in mind they're up against a weak investment here. Of course, it's a full buy from Eternal Fire. Woxic on that AWP, the rest only on the Deagles, though. Despite the Deagle nerf, these guys are all still super confident with them. Pleasant. Oh, that's a big shot. It's a really audacious position to be playing that. To go through the mid doors, be holding lower tunnels like that. Oh, another as well. So versatile, all over the place. You never really know where you're going to meet Pleasant. It's a very unsuccessful start to the round. Emor with that AWP goes for a little nice B-hop play, but doesn't actually manage to connect anything. Chawsey hits him. Xantares tries his luck with the AWP. Does actually manage to find himself one, but as Calyx drops, Xantares realizes that they're just about everywhere. They're above him, they're behind him. And Chawsey, the latter, manages to finish him off. 6-5, this scoreline really, really closing up. And bearing in mind, this is Eternal Fire's kind of favoured map. It's their map pick. It's probably their best in the pool. It's perhaps not going as expected. It's very, very close. Chawsey, 13-5 right now. Those odds not shifting all too much either. They've shifted a little bit, actually, since the last time we saw them. They've come a lot closer as Galaxy Racer have been winning rounds. Was that 1.9 to 1.7, something like that? Fairly close stuff. Not shifted a lot since the start, though. Oh. The Desert Eagle just can't connect. Desert and Chawsey find 2 freebies just up against these pistols. I don't think they should be too worried. Emor, though, gives them something to worry about. Wipes out their primary AWP. And finishes him off. Crux finds one towards the B side of things and actually doubles down, finds Woxic 2. 6-6, scoreline tied up. What a nice little turnaround. Round number 13. Eternal Fire, they will buy up here. They need to try and win this one, though. Otherwise, they could be looking at losing the half. Ooh. Woxic does actually connect onto Pleasant there. Not the fatal blow, though. Just a lot of damage. And oh no, Calyx! He's able to trade, but he has to stand in the fire to do so. He loses his life very shortly after finding that kill, so we continue to have this man advantage for Galaxy Racer. Pleasant extends it for them further. Despite being on low HP, Emor hasn't even got a chance to fire off a shot onto him. Chauzy. Oh, timing. Impeccable there for Eternal Fire, but does it matter too much? They're in a 4-on-2. They're 2 men down. 2 smokes and a molly to try and pick this one back up. Chauzy going for a bit of a bonkers play, actually pushing up short. The flank with the AWP tries to work out. Doesn't. Good smoke onto the molly. Buys some time, buys some space for Chauzy. And there you go. Bomb drop. Even if Xantares goes huge there, there's no chance at the round. But he doesn't. Gets taken out at the end of it. Twist finishes off the job. 7-6. Galaxy Racer take the lead for the first time this game. Look like they might be able to take the half with it. Gruss is flicking. Top 1.1%, so not as good as Chauzy's. Warping's not all about the flicks, but it's a big part of it. This little nade trade either way. Brux is doing more damage than the one inflicted onto him. Not by a huge amount, though. Flashes start to rain over. They're just going to funnel through this smoke, and it's not going to work for them at all. Grux with a triple. Chauzy and Pleasant finish things off with the AWP. This double AWP setup has worked really, really well for them. This has been a really good investment and a really smart idea for them to actually go for. As we look at these odds for the first time again, this game. Galaxy Racer, they're breaking all sorts of records here. They're your favourites. 1.7 to 2. That's the series odds as well. So interesting stuff. They're looking pretty good here on Dust 2. Since they've started to recover. As I said before, that double AWP setup's just been kind of unstoppable. Seems like until now, Eternal Fire haven't really had an answer for it, but a nice boost to try and deal with it. Takes down Pleasant, but Chauzy still wreaking havoc. Finds a beautiful double kill. Almost finds the third. Very, very narrowly misses out on it. Grux was spotted. Emor thought he had a free kill there, and he didn't. Instead, he got a bullet to the skull. Chauzy's still alive, still on full HP. Still looking to wreak havoc. They've got a man advantage, and Ace is down on 9 points of health. Galaxy Racer still a massive advantage in this round. And Chauzy looks to prove it. There you go. Walks through the smoke all day long. Chauzy's hitting that one. He does not miss those. And Calyx now in a 1-on-3. Bomb on his back, heading over towards a site. He's got a long control as well, so not going to be contested from there. The issue is he's got no smoke for CT. I thought he'd throw a flash to try and get across. Instead, he's going to use the car as somewhat as cover. And he actually doubles down with the headshots. Chauzy, whew, a hell of a round from the man. And he's actually the man called upon to close it out too. Really, really nice stuff there from Galaxy Racer. A great half, a great recovery towards the end. You can tell by the fact that Chauzy and Pleasant had 16k in the bank behind them, just how well they were doing, just how infrequently they were dying. That double AWP setup put to great use. Chauzy 20-6. Look at this replay again. Chauzy finds that sensational double, almost finds a third down towards lowers. Instead, finds his third in the upper tunnels, and then a fourth to close things out. Eternal Fire, this is an important pistol round for them to take. If they can't, they're in trouble. A nice configuration towards long. They lose the first man and the second. There's a big headshot. There goes the third. Xantares drops. It's going to be a Galaxy Racer pistol round by the looks of things. This is rough. This is rough for Eternal Fire. They actually really favour their T side as well here on Dust 2. It's kind of why they pick it. Their Dust 2 is really, really good. Sorry, their T side Dust 2 is really, really good. And as I say, since forming, they've only lost it twice. That was against Fiend and one against Entropic. So a loss here against Galaxy Racer would be a bit of a tough pill to swallow. The two sides they've lost to have been of a slightly higher caliber. And the Dust 2 seemed pretty tried and tested. They even beat Team Spirit on it. Back in the Malta Vibes Knockout Series. Just a few weeks ago. Another fast play towards long, though. This time they are up against the force buy, but they've still got this economic advantage. And if anything, it should be easier than the pistol. The scout does connect onto Desm before it drops. Woxic gets away with doing some damage, of course, but can't find the kill as he gets taken down. Xantares swaps out for the scout. And for Chauzy, just jiggling on this angle, hoping somebody tries to face into him. That's not going to be the case. Xantares holding from afar. Big headshot found. If he can connect another, it'd be huge. Instead, it's just damage through the box, but he finds another head. Further damage onto Grux, 2 HP. The nade might just connect onto him. Calyx does it instead. That's onto Desert. Still a slither of health on the final man. Grux eventually drops. Twist able to trade. But my goodness, the Eternal Fire Force Spy works out beautifully. And those Galils are just not put to use at all. Still the advantage here in terms of the odds for Galaxy Racer. teb.gg/fall is where you can see all of the latest in-play offerings for the matches ahead. And ongoing. This one included. And your match that's going on the B stream. Can't quite remember what that one is. Look at these headshots though from Xantares. Absolutely huge. Really, really solid stuff. The match going on the B stream is actually Lingby Viking versus Namiga as well, so that's a great match too. Lingby Vikings and Amiga both with a 2-0 record, so that one will be for qualification into the next stage. The pistol force spy not going too well so far here for Galaxy Racer, trying to bomb their way up short. They've lost their life to the Galil for the first. And ooh, it's just a bit of a mess. Pleasant does manage to trade one out, but instantly traded by Calyx. His bomb trying to work its way onto the bomb site. If Twist can get the plant, that's what he's looking for right now. Unfortunately, he loses the scout duel to Woxic and doesn't have to try and pick up the pieces. Desert Eagle doing some damage, but can't find the kill onto Woxic. And we go 10-8. Ten to 8. Scoreline definitely closing. Remember, this was 10-6. Now 10-8. Looking like it's about to go 10-9. Just up against these pistols. Chauzy wanted to try his luck with a boost there. I think he had a Desert Eagle as well. Or did he? I mean, I feel like Twist would have grabbed it by now if there was one on the floor. Seems weird to go for a boost with a Glock, though. Ah, no, it's just because it was being held. Woxic's still on the angle with the AWP. That's why Twist didn't go and grab that Deagle. Should be a flawless round here, though, for Eternal Fire. Might even be one where they don't take any damage, which would be cool. Just as I say it, Xantares gets dinked, but he lines him up as they cross paths. Pleasant and Grux. Bit of a mistake there, but either way, only on the Glocks, so it doesn't matter all too much. Now going into round number 20, the important one here for Galaxy Racer. After they won the pistol, that was actually their opportunity to kind of pull away. They were 10-6 up. If they'd have won the follow-up and then the subsequent eco, it could have been 12-6. Instead, it's 10-9 before the buyout comes. And there's still contingencies with it. Okay, you see the Galils at face value. It looks like a good buy, but yeah, Desert on a Galil, Chauzy. A scout instead of that AWP. Woxic, oh my goodness, that was unbelievably close. A tad too high. But either way, he's just found the kill onto Twist elsewhere. Xantares is just jumping. And he's going to go down. Does actually manage to finish him off. So there you go. It should just be 10 here for Eternal Fire. They've taken a fair bit of damage, but no kills so far. Galaxy Racer definitely lost track of where the damage has been dealt as well. Where said players have gone. Oh, that was incredibly close from Ita. He should do some damage, only a little bit there onto Chauzy, but he does know they're there now. They plenty of noise, and that's going to be relayed to himself and Emor. And there you go. Swings a little bit late. Could have saved Emor there, but either way, it's a great round. They keep 4 players alive. Quite comfortable stuff. Especially considering that was against a buy-up. They're in a pretty comfortable position. 10-10. Scoreline tied up, but the odds are not. Eternal Fire back in the driver's seat. 1.5 to 2.4. Smoke goes down lower mid. Emor spotting these pistols jumping about all over the shop. It's a weird one, to be honest. I mean, it's a half buy here from Galaxy Racer. They're keeping enough money to buy into the next, but they have kind of over-invested into this a little bit. 2K is normally your sweet spot. On the T side, you can go a little bit below it because you've got that luxury that your weapons that are a little bit cheaper. But in order to have good util and whatnot, you want to stay around that 2K mark. Pleasant is on $1,200. Desert and Twist not far above with $1,350. Croc's on $1,550 as well, so yeah, really over-investing into this one a tad. They could do with some damage here or a bomb plant to bolster that further. Chauzy not investing into this one at all. He's just got a Glock and nothing behind it. No Kevlar, no utility. He wants that AWP moving forward, and he's not going to risk anything this round that could jeopardize it. A big old spray down gives Calyx 2, is eventually traded by the Desert Eagle. Further flashbang should allow Xantares to finish things off for the spray transfer. My goodness. It's actually really, really nice. 11-10, Eternal Fire pick up the round that puts them in the lead. And there you go, a decent buy. Maybe I underestimated the economy a little bit here of Galaxy Racer. 1,200 seemed to be sufficient on top of that max loss bonus of $3,200 to pull out the AKs and the util. Couple of mollies and Grux and Pleasant as well, acquiring a lot of their util early. Trying to come out along right now. They're winning the fight. Grux does actually take it. Chauzy with the second as well. What a big fight to win. Emor, that's a really rough shot to miss. And a bizarre position to be in as an AWP as well. I mean, he's picked up that secondary sniper. It's not uncommon for him. But to push into lowers, absolutely bonkers. Beautiful shot from Woxic though. He's actually aggressing further. He knows that he needs another kill here, and it's likely that there's one more in this position. The issue is they've gone on this multi-level setup. Pleasant almost whiffs there, but he does manage to find it. Swaps out to the AWP as well. They don't seem to be aware that he's just coming in from behind, but they do know he's not on site, and I think that's probably the most important thing right now. They can just go and get this bomb planted, play from that point forward. Yeah, it's a really smart setup to go on that tight angle and play on 2 different levels. There's no way that the AWP can kill you both if it peaks, because you don't line up, because one's below and one's above. It's not like you're playing wide either. You're on exactly the same angle, so if he peeks and can see one of you and shoot one of you, then the second player can always trade in that scenario. Whereas if you're playing kind of different angles, then there's a chance he could kind of go for a slow peek, isolate the first one, and then peek wider and take the second. It is just really smart play. As a counter for that AWP. Shot through the door, doesn't quite connect there for Chauzy. Close stuff. Still all tied up, 11-11. Both teams in a fairly similar economic position as well. Eternal Fire with a little bit more money in the bank. And Emor, that's a big kill. Blinded by the flashbang, but timings. It's his middle name. And he connects with the AWP. Man advantage here for Eternal Fire. It's an important round for them to win, but if they don't win it, they do actually have enough to go for a buy in the next regardless. So There's pressure, but not mountains of it. The only man that might struggle is Emor, who's gone for that secondary AWP again. As this round stands at the moment, it seems like Eternal Fire might be able to take it. Later stages of this game, round number 23, and it's a very important one. Galaxy Racer with a man down. Only one smoke as well, and it's going to have to be deployed into CT. We want to take the fight onto Emor, and Emor's on the wrong angle. Chauzy comes a little bit higher than it. There's not a lot he can do about it. He's spraying away. He needs to find two here, and he's only good for one. Brings it into a 3-on-3 situation. The retake has to come over towards the B site. Eternal Fire are miles out of position with one more kill coming through. Xantares and Calyx might actually have to fall away and save here. It looks like Calyx is going to sit in the T-spawn, hope for maybe some exits. No, backtracks. Wants to just hold on to his weapons. I think the call's been made here that Emor has no money and that Woxic's on 1700. And they don't have a loss bonus, so it's very important that they just save these two weapons. Xantares can drop over to Emor, Calyx can drop something to Woxic, and then they're good to go. They can keep fighting rather than give up key rounds. There we go, that's our Pinnacle banner again. Bet €10, get €10 when you sign up using code 421, and you see those odds above. Still actually favouring Galaxy Racer, or favouring Galaxy Racer once again. They've kind of been a bit back and forth over these last few. And Eternal Fire are going to call a quick timeout because of it. They've got money to buy, they've still got that double up setup in play. But it's important they take this round, otherwise they are in trouble. Fast pick from Pleasant. Doesn't quite spot the man peeking into pit area, but he will spot that one. Woxic trying to take care of him. Calyx will swap out to the secondary sniper. It looks like he wants to go for the peek here, and Pleasant inches away. That's unreal. Very, very close. Issa seems to be aware that Dezen could be holding from the T-spawn, and timing is a little bit cruel to him. Smoke goes down. He's being pressured forward, though, and Issa, look at that. That's great. Twist on the backstab, though. And if Issa tries to fall back through this smoke, he's in for a nasty surprise. There you go. That's what happens. That is what happens when you try and aggress into tunnels like that by yourself. You absolutely have to have support. Because as soon as you fall back, you might have lost lower control, and that's a big problem. A big, big problem in that scenario. Calyx with a big kill there onto Grux. Xantares on the boost, a big shot, but it's instantly traded there by Twist, and now they've got a major HP advantage. Calyx incredibly low. If you can take the duel onto Chauzy, you'd have an advantage, but yeah, Bogdan's Law says swap out, grab that AWP. Emor's going to come in, try and dish out the headshots. Instead, it's Twist to do so, and Chauzy, the overkill onto Calyx, who was only on a slither of health, takes an AWP shot to the skull. No money here for Eternal Fire as Galaxy Racer hit 13. Unbelievable stuff. They're going to go for a half buy, of course. I think they've got just about enough to justify doing so with a $2,900 loss bonus. Ooh, close stuff there from Chauzy as well. Can't quite connect that. Xantares has to work his way up mid. The duel here. Pleasant has spotted the head though, and there you go. They'll spray it away. Not quite the headshot, but they kill regardless. It should be 14 for Galaxy Racer, and this is so huge. I mean, this is their opponent's map pick. They get to go onto their map next. I questioned why they didn't pick into Mirage, but they must have their reasons, and if they play like they have here, especially if Chawsy's hitting shots like he is, it could be a scary one. Emor, big headshot. It's worth a lot. Pleasant responding to Calyx. Can't quite kill him though, but he's taken a lot of damage. Emor finally taken care of by the nades, and I love that response. Twist just says, do you know what? He's on the site. We don't need to keep picking into him and giving him chances with the deagle. Who's got a HE? Let's lob it onto him. Bombard him with the nades, and that's exactly what they do. Beautiful stuff. Twist actually finds himself a double there too. 3 in the round, and Issa with no option here to really do anything. He's just going to fall away. He's got Kevlar. He's got a 5-7. It's worth saving. And if he can get an exit, that'd be fantastic for him. Issa surely hears them running around in long. If he wants to have a crack at it, he can try and push through these doors, see if he can take one down, but they've got money, so him getting a kill and damaging their economy doesn't really do anything. What he's looking for here is either to save what he has or get a kill and actually take the weapon away, which there was no opportunity presented itself there to do so. So, as we go into round number 26, Galaxy Racer with still a decent lead, to be honest. 14-11. No longer the firepower advantage, though, but Grux, I think he's given the AWP there just because of his better spawn. He's gone for the early long pick, hasn't been able to spot anybody, but what that does indicate is that they somewhat have long control here. No one playing the corner. He's still holding on to this, though. I love the fact that he's still holding this corner. Expecting a late peek to come through. As the smoke goes down, he's going to push through it. He's made noise. Playing anti-flash, though. Chawsy's here to support him. Oh, my goodness. What on earth has just happened there? Luckily for them, it doesn't do too much damage, but CSGO'd a little bit. The smoke doesn't extinguish the molly. Calyx swinging wide, not expecting the boost. Such a nice little bit of initiative there for Chawsy to call for Grux to get him up. And as Grux swings around the angle, scoped in, he takes out Woxic. This is very much looking like it's going to be 15 here for Galaxy Racer, and it's been an incredible round. I mean, Grux posting up on long early like that, when no one peeks into you, it can be so tempting to just try and walk out. He has masses of discipline, stays on the angle, and then when the smoke comes in, he goes for that initiative play to push out behind the blue container. The boost to follow, I mean, it's just incredible. Every single kill has been a perfect execution since an Eternal Fire. They lose a very, very important round. This is going to be 15-11 here by the looks of things for Galaxy Racer. Oh, there you go, Pleasant. Big headshot onto Issa that. Finishes him off. Flawless round there for Galaxy Racer. 15-11, 4 chances to close. And the odds have massively swung in Galaxy Racer's favour. They're still the series odds, remember. So it's early days. I think Eternal Fire have got a lot more equity than what's being portrayed there in those odds. But to be honest, I mean, they're about to lose their map pick. Next up, they've got to play on Galaxy Racer's choice. I think they are definitely in a little bit of trouble. They could really do with taking this to OC. The issue is they haven't got the money to get them there. Or at least comfortably. As I said before, 4 chances to close here for Galaxy Racer, but this would definitely be their easiest. Bearing in mind they're up against 3 FAMASes and 2 scouts. Molly goes down. Xantares up on top of the box. Able to take down Plez, and Issa swings wide, but Chawsy's there on the trade. An advantage here for Eternal Fire. Feels like the first time in a little while they've had one. But Xantares is incredibly low on health, and they've not been able to upgrade any of these weapons. Emor missing the key headshot with the scout, but there's a big whiff on the other side of things. Dezen, that was his chance to get the kill in the B site, and instead, he's absolutely squandered it. He's fallen to the scout. He had 2 chances at that one. He's completely whiffed it. CT smoke available. They'll deploy it. Nade goes in as well. That's got to finish off Xantares, and it does. Slam dunk. Perfect stuff. Now they just have to face it against Emor's scout up close as well. Pre-fired. 2-on-2. 30 seconds. The bomb's going to go down, and now it's a retake for Eternal Fire without the right weaponry for it. Unlucky for Woxic. Comes off the angle just at the wrong time there. And they've somehow got to pull this together. Eternal Fire. You swap out to 2 for masses, so the scout no longer a massive contingency, but still not the best weapon of choice. Jawsy eats a grenade, lands right next to him. That's the issue with tucking yourself behind a car. But despite the low HP, they take the fight and they win them. Jawsy and Grux finish